So what if there's an element almost or entirely missing from your natal chart? This is actually a lot more common than a lot of people think. And it doesn't mean that, you are broken in some way. Actually, we do need to be careful, because when there is an element that's completely missing from our chart, we are usually acutely aware of that there is something going on there, and there can even be sometimes a tendency to oversteer, to overdo it, because we're trying so hard to make up for this missing element. The interesting thing is, you don't even necessarily have to make up for it yourself. What you'll find is that when you're missing a particular element, you will be naturally drawn to people who have that element in abundance. They tend to bring out the best in you. So for example, I don't have any fire in my chart. And because of that, I love being around Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius people, because they complement what is already within me. They kind of light up that bit that isn't there through planetary energy alone. And even your environment can also be very fruitful in addressing any elemental imbalance. So let's say you're like me, you don't have any or very, very little fire in your chart. So that means that it can be naturally quite challenging for you to get going and to get motivated. You can see things through, that's not a problem, but that initiation, that getting out of your inertia, can be quite difficult. So you need to build your own kind of strategies around that. And being in hot environments is also very, very helpful for people who are lacking fire in their chart. Hot climates tend to be better suited to those kinds of people. If you're missing earth, then everyday routine and reality and the kind of, the grind and the slog can be very, very frustrating and demotivating for you. You have the vision, you have the energy, you have the spark, but seeing things through to the end and sticking with something can be very challenging. For you, it's very beneficial to be around nature in natural environments, especially with bare feet on the ground, on the soil. Even just, a beautiful garden or a park is very, very beneficial for you. If you're very low or missing the air element, then you may struggle with expressing yourself. You have a very rich inner world, but getting it out in words and being precise with your language can come as a challenge. Sometimes people who are missing the air element can struggle a lot in school, because the way the schooling system works, it's very cerebral and intellectual, and if you're missing that element, that's not something that comes naturally to you. It's not really how you understand the world. So if you are missing the air element, then it's important for you to continuously challenge yourself intellectually as an adult, despite maybe some negative experiences in childhood with school, but you just have to find a way that it makes sense for you. And it's also very beneficial for you to be in places that are high up, so mountains, high up buildings, anywhere where you can see a lot of expanse. That's very, very suitable for someone without much air in their chart. And if you're missing the water element or have very little water in your chart, it can be difficult for you to connect to your emotions and to trust your intuition, to trust anything that cannot be proven without the shadow of a doubt. Relationships can sometimes be very challenging for people who don't have any water in their chart, because it's difficult for them to feel the other person and create this empathy. They might understand the other person on a rational, logical level, but not on a deeper emotional level, which is such an important foundation for relationships. So if you are missing the water element, this is something that you have to actively work towards. You have to actively work towards understanding your intuition, towards understanding your feelings and not seeing them so much as the enemy or just a hindrance towards what you're trying to achieve. And for you, it's very beneficial to be around, water, whether that's the ocean, whether that's lakes, rivers, or even a little stream, or waterfalls are beautiful for people who are lacking water in their natal chart. They are very restorative and replenishing. So it's fairly rare that somebody has a pretty even spread of their placements across all elements, but it does happen, and it does come with its own benefits and its own challenges, of course, like everything. The upside of having a very elementally balanced chart is that you have tools for pretty much every situation. You are very adaptable. The downside of having all of the elements fairly balanced is that it's up to you to work out which tool is most suitable for which situation. It's not something that is automatically handed to you because you see everything through the earth lens or the water lens or whatever, but it's up to you to learn and practice that discernment of when you have to push, when you have to sit back and just release, when you have to think about things, when you have to feel them, etc. So, of course, this is very, very useful in understanding ourselves, but also very much so in understanding each other. The elements operate in polarities. So, air and fire are one polarity, and earth and water are another polarity, and they do tend to complement each other. They are basically just two opposite ends of the same sliding scale. But there can be challenge when you come across somebody who, let's say you are very, very heavy in water. You will naturally get on with people who also have a lot of water in their chart, or who maybe have a lot of earth in their chart. But when you come across somebody who's very fiery, there can be challenges because you don't quite naturally understand each other in the same way. So if there is somebody in your life that is constantly ruffling your feathers, have a think. Could it be that they are just very, very fiery, watery, earthy, or airy, and that you just don't really have the capacity to work with that yet? And after this video, have a think about, well, how can you work with your own balance of elements in your natal chart to really bring out the best of each element and actively counteract any of its shadow elements. So the elements are one of the oldest frameworks in astrology. Fire, earth, air, and water. We are all made of all of them, just in varying proportions. Understanding your elements is like a wonderful map. And like any map, it doesn't tell you where to go and what to do, but it gives you information with which you can work to get to where you're trying to get to. It allows you to choose your next step with a little bit more clarity and a lot more compassion. If you'd like to explore your own elemental balance in depth, what it means for your chart, what it means for your relationships, and what it means about how you should be manifesting what you are trying to achieve, then that is exactly what I dive deep into in my one-on-one readings. You can find the link to book a session with me in the description bar below. And if you're not already subscribed to my newsletter, come join us. I send out every 2 weeks a completely free newsletter in which you get practical tools on how to work with the current astrology, journaling prompts that help you discover yourself and understand yourself on an even deeper level, and some fun and whimsical stuff as well. You will find the link for that also in the description bar below. And if this video resonated with you, I would love to know. Share and let me know what your dominant element is, or if you have any missing elements in your chart. Let me know in the comments. I will be hanging around there waiting for your replies. Until next time, take good care, and I will see you soon.